Now, what about the CBO estimate on the health care reform bill, and John Boehner saying, well, they can have their opinion, but that doesn't make it true?
Yeah, the Congressional Budget Office, which is nonpartisan, has estimated that a repeal would cost $230 billion to the U.S. Treasury over the first 10 years. And actually,
a
repeal would cost that to the Treasury, and actually considerably more in the next 10 years.
Now, why would that be? Explain that to me.
Well, there are elements of this is actually consistent with what they were saying when the health care bill was passed, and they said that it would add money to the Treasury. And that's for a lot of reasons. There are taxes imposed on various large industries that are about to get a huge market share increase, pharmaceutical manufacturers, for example. And so in return, and many of them were on board with this, they were going to pay a certain amount to the U.S. Treasury. There's also taxes that have to do with people who choose not to get health insurance. They pay taxes as well. So for these reasons, the health care bill was going to reduce the deficit. The Republicans argue that they were given all kinds of faulty assumptions and that that's a myth and that nobody in their right mind would think that this huge bill would actually save money for the Treasury. But the Democrats point to these Congressional Budget Office scores, and it's become a pretty big point of contention. And, as I say, suddenly it's the Republicans who are having to defend everything they do, who are having to defend against accusations of inconsistency. And it's the Democrats. I mean, to me, they almost seem to be enjoying it. Of course, we all know they'd rather be in the majority, but there's something about not having responsibility for doing anything, only having to criticize, that seems to be enjoyable.
Yeah, one of the biggest savings that's projected is in Medicare spending, especially cutting back on Medicare Advantage. And Republicans say that simply is not going to happen. Politically, that's not possible. So Boehner's contention is sort of that, well, yes, I agree that if we're going to add to the costs, we have to compensate for it. But I don't think those costs are going to be there. Still, they passed a rule that exempted this from paying for all of this.